All right. Now, GameStop is doing a stock split or is seeking approval from their investor, the stakeholder or the shareholder, to approve a share split, meaning for each one shares that you're owning, you may be able to get, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 25. I don't know. It depends on what they're actually going to target based on what they're seeking to achieve with this strategy. All right. Now, just this news alone, it's not really the good news because it's the dividend part being attached on this, which is actually very, 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 very super bullish. And this is the reason why yesterday I told you on one of the videos that you will wish you bought some more shares of AMC or GameStop for that matter. Why? Here is why. Because a dividend, whether it's a crypto dividend, whether it's a NFT dividend, whether it's a cash dividend, all right, even if it's just 1 cent, even if it's just 1 cent of a dividend, well, this might change the whole game, all right? And lately, I see AMC kind of following suit with some of the things GameStop have been doing. All right, GameStop have a stake invested into Best Buy and Beyond, which is also kind of labeled as a meme stock. And then now AMC went and did the exact same thing with Highcroft Mining Company. All right, even though it might not be literally targeting the short sellers, in some way it is, because they are totally transforming the whole landscape of the company and the ability to have multiple streams of income, which by the way can even outrun the core business at stake here, right? Now, that being said, if AMC follows suits with GameStop and also announces even a 0.01 dividend, a 1 cent dividend per share, I mean, even if they don't have the money, even if they will have to borrow the money or use these $1 billion cash they're sitting on, as GameStop is also sitting on $1.3 billion right now, it will totally like mark the death cross on short sellers. Why? Because to have a dividend, you need to own the real shares. And because we know that the price hasn't been, the price has remained so low, given the potential of what AMC can do as a price action and price run, well, we know it's because of fake shares, the synthetics, the naked shorts, and all the tactics the short sellers have been using in this play since, pretty much the last 6 months, the last 12 to 14 months. Now, what maybe people don't tend to really take into consideration, and this is really, really critical, is the fact that in order to short sell a stock, you need to borrow those shares. But these guys didn't follow the rules and went their way to pretty much fabricating shares. All right, so we have phantom shares out there. How do I know we do have phantom shares out there? Because first of all, the share count doesn't fit. If you take the outstanding shares out there, all right, and you kind of match it with the amount of shares being traded and the amount of people still being able to buy shares and still being able to short sell the shares, it doesn't match up. How can I have 500 million shares outstanding and I'll be able to it doesn't even make any sense then. So that's how I have the conviction that there are way more shares out there. And people even smarter than me did the math based on what happened with past companies in the history with this exact same scenario. And we might have maybe billion shares here being faked, phantom. All right. So the moment a dividend is announced, oh man, the borrowers will need to return all the shares to the lenders, because before short selling a stock, you need to borrow the stock, and you borrow it from who? From whoever lended it to you. All right. So you might not know, but your brokerage account or your brokerage firm where your account is being sitting with your AMC shares, well, they do lend the shares without even you giving your approval. Yeah, that's true. All right, so this is not new news. So based on that, at the sound of a dividend being announced, even if AMC has to borrow the money to pay that dividend moving forward, well, it's a death cross, because the lenders are going to be like, man, I need my shares right away. And because the lenders do not need to give any type of notice to the borrowers, aka the short sellers, what is going to happen? Well, people are going to start looking as, either you cover the shares, all right, or you get margin call. And if you get margin call, ultimately it leads to the same thing. You will have to get out. And by getting out, that's how the price will start rising to the extent, to the natural, following the natural law of supply and demand. And we know that AMC has always been, since January, on the top 10 list of the very high demanded stock. All right. So it's not going to be it's going to be pretty much a smart move from GameStop actually to do this stock split and add a dividend to it, because literally they are guaranteeing that, hey, short sellers are going to be not only exposed but burned at the same time, which will cause such a buying pressure coming in and landing these two stocks to the moon. So that's what I'm saying. At the moment we hear AMC, even if it's a 1 cent dividend, man, poof. As somebody used to say, sweet baby Jesus.